Hello everyone, this is Robert Radford with 50 Years of Chess. I've brought another game to you. It was played in 2017 and it was played at Frome Chess Congress and the date was the 17th of May 2017. My opponent was either Mark or Mike Plumb, not sure which. It's M. Plumb. I'm sure he said one of those two names, possibly Mike. But yeah, the game was played in the major section and his rating was 1750 and mine was 1825. I finished on 3.5, so I didn't win it that year. Went close, but I lost in round one, I think. May have been to Dominic Bennett, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is the way the game went. I'm playing white and I began with d4. My opponent played d5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop g5. I think this is known as a Torre attack. I've played knight on 8 to d7, e3, e6. So game's going along nicely. Bishop to d3, c6. So he's got a good setup. It's a very famous, well-known line that he's played in defense. Knight d7, bishop e7. So we have a very even position at the moment. Castles, knight e5. Now this is totally out of the book. White never does this. He usually plays something like c4 now, or rook c1 and then c4, but I wanted to go for something different. I wanted to try and get maybe f4 and then bring the knight on d2 to f3 to support the other knight should he not take it. But if he does, it's not a problem. He took and I took back. So now that knight's got to move and he goes back to d7. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, and now I play f4 so he can't take the pawn with the knight. So I've got a doubled pawn on the e-file, but I like it because I can get my queen and rook out on the king side for an attack with that lovely bishop I got there. So he's played f6 to try and so that if I don't take it, he's got pawn takes, knight takes. So he's more or less saying you need to take it, but I played queen h5, so I can do it that way. So I'm getting my king side attack going. I'm threatening checkmate, almost. Yeah, it would be checkmate. Because even if I go queen takes pawn check, king at f7, I've got bishop g6, and that's mate, checkmate. So he's pushed the pawn on, which I fully expected him to do, to f5, and I played c3. Now this is because I think he's probably, in my estimation, would likely to play knight c5, and then I can drop the bishop back and preserve the bishop. This is what happened. Now he's played b6. He's planning to get his bishop out probably to a6 on that nice diagonal. So I'll get my rook up now to f3, and then he did play that. So I brought the rook across, so I'm hitting the h pawn. g6 has to be played here, which he does, and I've gone queen h6. So now he's brought his bishop down into e2, probably thinking of playing bishop to g4, which would be a pain for me. I'd have to play rook g3 or rook h4. I don't want to do that. Hopefully he won't be able to do it if I bring my bishop back to d1. So he had a little think and then went in bishop d3. So he's not got a bad bit of counterplay there at the moment. It's an interesting game. Now I played knight f3 to support that attack. If I can get knight into g5, then I can support the attack on the h7 pawn. Now he's gone in knight to e4. Not going anywhere with that, but he chose to go there. Maybe it's to just stop me going knight g5, I should think so. But I didn't want to do that anyway, because I went knight e1. Knight e1, I'm attacking that bishop. I want to get that bishop moved. He didn't do it. He missed it. He just looked at the attack on his h-pawn and forgot about the bishop hanging. So he's going to drop a piece here after he's gone rook f7, knight takes bishop. Now, it's a horrible thing when this happens. It's terrible when you do this. You must just make a very, very simple, stupid mistake. Cost you a piece, probably cost you the game. All you want to do is just resign, get in your car and go home and not bother playing the rest of the Congress. That's how you feel at the time. But these things happen. I've done it myself many, many times. I've blundered, left pieces on pre. But unfortunately for him, this is what's happened. But he wants to play on and make a go of it. So he played c5, bishop f3, knight into d2, and rook to d1. I certainly wouldn't mind if he wants to play knight takes bishop, but he won't do that because he's a piece down. You shouldn't really swap off when you're piece down. So he went knight to c4, brought the bishop back to e2. Now I know he's a piece down, but he's still got a solid position at the moment. So he's brought his rook on a across to d8, and I went back knight to e1. He took the pawn. I didn't mind him taking that pawn. This is all part of getting my pieces where they are. I can let a pawn or two go, that one now. Rook to d2 and knight to a4. So he's hitting that c pawn, c3. So I pushed it on to see if he would take it, and he didn't. He played his knight to c3, and I've gone back knight to d1. I've got a little plan here, and should he now push d pawn on, I'm gonna get something out of this because I just play pawn takes pawn, and should he play pawn takes pawn? Yeah, d4, pawn takes, queen h4, offering the queen swap. Now there's a little trap I've done here. If he refuses to swap, which he probably won't because he's a piece down, then I've set him up nicely. After he moves the queen, I got rook takes knight, and then should he go play pawn takes knight, I've got rook takes rook on d8. Yeah, he's on c7, so that's fine. But even though he's on queen 7 or d8, e8, it doesn't matter. I'm going to win another piece. Yeah, so here he just resigned because that was his second major blunder, and the game was over in 31 moves. He'd been playing well until he made that first mistake, and then it was one of those days when he was going to be blundering, so he decided to call it a day now. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll bring more to you very soon. Thanks, and thanks to all the subscribers. Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you.